Welcome to issue 331 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Here, we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the encounter sets. We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled as villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so called heroes intent on thwarting them. I'm one of your hosts, Molly Glover, and joining me is Daniel.
Oh, Molly, what a delight to have you back.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm so excited to be back. And Scott.
Hello, Molly. We're so delighted that you're here.
Continually delighted. And Steve.
Hey, Molly. Oh, boy, it's been so long. Welcome.
Thank you. It has been so long. I am really excited to be back, guys. Thank you so much for having me again.
Well, last time you were here, you were hinting at Deadpool, but couldn't say anything.
I know.
So, yeah.
When it got announced and you guys posted about it, I was like, this is... It was great.
It was a very long time ago.
It was.
So for the listeners, this is Molly Glover from FFG. You can go back to issue 43 in December 2020 if you want to hear our first interview with Molly. So real excited to have you on again.
It's amazing you guys have been doing this show this long. I'm just so impressed. Really, really strong work. And you're my favorite Marvel Champions creator. So
yes,
it's you're the one I follow.
I take back all those mean things I said about you.
Don't, they're probably true.
I mean, we are villains, so we're supposed to be mean, but you know. Let's start off for the folks who haven't gone back 5.5 years. Who are you? Who's Molly Glover?
I am a senior game producer in the LCG vertical at Fantasy Flight Game Studios. What that means is I work on both Arkham Horror LCG and the Marvel Champions LCG. And I've been the producer for Marvel Champions LCG from the start. So I am the one, the only, your friendly neighborhood game producer.
Molly, what does it mean to be the game producer on a day-to-day?
Yeah. So, boy, I like to, if I'm being facetious, I say that I'm a calendar who schedules meetings, but that's not, that's really being extremely reductive. I am the project manager for all of our projects, everything that we make that's for sale, everything we make that's a promo that involves FFG Studio and the design teams. I am the main interface with licensing. So I'm the one who works with our licensing department about Marvel. I keep track of all the rules and things that we haven't been told what we can do. I am in charge of all of the licensing submissions, when we do things like studio approval, which is our, one of our big QA steps. I'm in charge of the schedules. I make the schedules and keep the schedules. And then I run, weekly meetings. And yeah, I don't have any direct reports. I'm not a people manager. I am a product manager. So lots of little tasks. It's a very task-oriented, detail-heavy job.
You're the mastermind villain, keeping everybody else.
Yeah, I'm the guy in the chair for sure.
Okay.
Definitely still doing, and I also do all the quoting and budget, all the interface with the factories and the production team. I guess I don't talk to the factories directly. I talk to the factories through our production coordinators. But yeah, so anytime if the team is like, hey, we want to know if we can put, I'm just gonna dice in this one, like that, we figure that out if it gets approved by management to pursue that. I figure out how much it's going to cost. I figure out then how we move forward doing something like that.
You have been at FFG how long now, and how did you find yourself in the gaming industry?
Yeah, I've worked at FFG for 15 years, 15 years and 3 months. And I've been a producer for 11 of those years. For the first 4 years I worked here, I was in sales. Back then I coordinated big accounts like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target. I traveled to a lot of trade shows. I went to New York Toy Fair. I went to a lot of smaller shows too, like for distributors. And then I would go on buying trips where me and my manager at the time would then, try to sell people on other games. So that's how I knew about all the older LCGs, was through that sales job. And then I moved over to the producer role just a month or two before the Asmodee merger. So it was really good timing for me. I never worked in sales when we were Asmodee. I was only ever FFG for that. And then in terms of getting into the industry, so I have a really long and storied job history. I started working in 1993 when I was 15. I basically my whole life up until working for FFG, if I got tired of a job, I quit. I did not make myself stay anywhere I didn't enjoy. And I would usually switch to a completely different field. So I've worked in restaurants, hair salons, I worked at a ceramic studio, call centers, legal offices, hospitals, clinics, bookstores, toy stores. Eventually, I worked at a game store. I worked at I worked at the mall. It was a place called Marbles the Brain Store. It was a focus on educational toys, but they had Ingenious by Fantasy Flight Games, and it was one of my favorites. My friend who worked there, I had a few friends who worked at FFG. It's a local place. You know, they were employing a good amount of my friends. And she told me there was a sales position open. So I applied. I got the job the day I interviewed. They didn't have HR really back then. So, like, I applied for the job, talked to the person who would be my manager. My interview was 2.5 hours long.
Wow.
He took me to every single person in the company and had me shake their hand. And then called me a few hours later to offer me the job. So here we are 15 years later. It's crazy.
now, Molly, when you say the mall, do you mean the mall?
Oh no, I not
Okay.
this Marbles did have a store at the Mall of America. I trained there, but
Okay.
Minnesota has many malls. We
we're
actually started
a mall
the mall.
region. Yeah.
Yes, we started the first mall. So no, this was at Eden Prairie Center. I used to live in Eden Prairie.
Okay.
That's the mall I worked at. First, I worked at a hair store called Trade Secret, and then I switched over to the
Wow.
game store. And I just jump around, and yeah, honestly, when I was at FFG for a year and a half, that had been the longest I've worked anywhere, and so I was very excited. And now it's like I look back and I'm like, oh my God, 15 years. That's so long ago. One of my new cohorts, one of the designers on the Arkham team, we figured out that when I started at FFG, we think he was in 3rd grade.
Oh, nice. That's always humbling.
Yeah.
Molly's our generation, we'll say.
Yeah, I'm Gen X,
Yeah.
firmly Gen X, baby.
Good. Okay.
Overlooked, and please leave me alone.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll drink from the hose and microwave my own meal.
I didn't know there was another way to live.
Exactly.
Right.
Why would you?
It's the only way.
Well, that's a pretty great history. I don't think we talked about that the last time you were on. I don't remember any
I
of
don't
that.
think so either.
Oh no, I don't think so. Yeah.
So when you work at FFG for 5 years, you get an art piece, or at least you used to. Is that
You
still a thing?
do. Yes, absolutely.
And you have Olivia McBride, I think, in the Arkham horror game.
Olive.
Correct?
Olive McBride.
Olive
Steve.
McBride.
Come on,
Yeah.
Steve.
I don't play
okay.
much Arkham anymore.
No, that's okay. So it's actually funny. So the reason it's Olive McBride is my husband and I used to work out at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. We were street performers and stage performers, but our act was Beefcake and Olive. I'm Olive, and we were the best married couple in the realm, and we did a bunch of bits, and we offered advice to people. We solved romantic disputes, and we did a bunch of great improv things. So that's Olive. That's the Olive part. The McBride is my maiden name, and so when my 5-year art was first going to get put into a game, it was going to get, I don't remember what it went in first, but somebody asked me, what do you want? We're going to use you as an ally. What do you want your character name to be? And I was like, oh, and so I was Olive McBride. And they're like, oh, I love that. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And I actually also came up with the tagline of the "We'll try anything once," because that's just my personal motto. So yeah, it's really great. And so that's my art piece. I love it. We actually just did a big Arkham had this big party because they have a new core set. So they had this big party called the Miskatonic Masquerade, and I actually went as Olive McBride, and I was in character the whole night. It was really fun.
That's great.
Do you get a 15-year piece?
No, at 15
5
years,
and done.
it's a different. Yeah, 5 and done. It's a different perk. But I will say my dog Peaches has art. She's in the Barkham Horror expansion.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Where
all right.
They did a bunch of dog stuff, and she's Bark Harrigan instead of Mark Harrigan, even though she's a girl.
That's
She
marvelous.
gender swapped. Yeah, so she got art. She was they just offered. They were like, who wants to get their pets in this? Then I submitted her picture and they put her in. It was great.
I'm sure I passed you and your husband in Shakopee at the Renfest.
I'm sure you did.
Man,
Yeah.
who knew?
Yeah.
Right? What a small
Yeah,
world.
I know, right? It is a small world. I wouldn't want to paint it, but it is small. Yeah, we did a show called Wise Fools Improv where we do vilification tennis. If you ever saw the insult comedy show out there, that's what we did.
Yep. Okay.
And still do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, Molly, do you, speaking of Marvel and licensing and the characters, do you read the comics?
Yeah. I mean,
And if so, do you have a favorite?
yeah, so I read so many more comics when I worked at the hair store and then the game store in the mall, and just in general in the late aughts, I was reading. I mean, we were getting our weekly pulls, and I was probably reading like 20 issues a week. But when I
Wow.
started this job, it was a full-time job, and so I didn't have as much time. And then we kind of stopped doing polls and stuff. But so I do still read Marvel comics. I mostly read the comics I mostly read are indies or like one shots these days. I read a lot of horror, but honestly, I have my favorite runs from Marvel. Bendis's Alias. I love Jessica Jones, so
good.
and Alias is so good. And Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run with Aja. Aja's art is incredible. I love
Right.
Fraction's Hawkeye. The show is so perfect for me because it is that comic, right?
It is.
And then
Pizza dog
obviously
and
Bendis
everything.
is Daredevil. Bendis is Daredevil, hands down. I love Brian Michael Bendis. And Matt Fraction both, but I really enjoy the way he did Daredevil, and a lot of all the stuff with when Daredevil made his deal with Dormammu and everything. I think it was Dormammu he made the deal with. Oh, I'm going to be misremembering. Someone is going to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure. Please do. But yeah, all my stuff is like kind of out of date. So when we're like talking about things we could do, whenever someone starts bringing up storylines, I know, like when they were talking about doing Civil War, Caleb and I were like, yeah, Civil War, like talking about it. 'Cause I'm like, I know that one. Big, I understood that reference energy.
Well, you've got to be delighted with where the game is headed now then.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
I mean, goodness gracious.
I
Yeah.
am so excited right now. This is the time. And you have to understand, I stopped working on this a year ago. So I'm really excited for you guys to see it coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure like 2023 is when someone made Daredevil, I imagine. So
yeah,
whatever.
absolutely. Yeah, I think we completed work on Fear No Evil in like late 2024.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So every time an announcement's come out and people are like, still no Daredevil, this game sucks. It's like, oh God, you guys, just wait.
Be patient.
I can't say anything, but it's coming.
I got to express a little disappointment. I was sort of hoping
Yeah.
FFG would never make Daredevil. I just thought that would be so funny.
The ultimate troll.
Kick the Daredevil can down the road to eternity for those haters.
No.
I just thought it would have been great.
Oh man.
Maybe give us another Squirrel Girl. That's what I want, or something like that.
I think we might have like pitchforks and torches outside the offices, right?
Well, maybe, but
Squirrel Girl, I would be fun.
One of our theories was once FFG actually produces Daredevil, that's when the game is dead.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, the last hero.
That's the last one. Nope, we're done.
Well, guess what I'm here to announce? No, I'm kidding.
The game is not dead.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. The game is very much not dead. That is one thing I am here to announce.
Well, Molly, do you get a chance to play the game
Oh, no.
as much as you'd like, or at all, or?
I don't play the game. I don't play games I work on, really. Especially when I don't know. It is a job, right? And so
Sure.
I'm doing it all day, and it's not really so I don't play a lot of tabletop games, honestly. I'm more of a video games, TV and books person.
Okay.
When I do play tabletop games, I don't really play LCGs. I play a lot of like party games and other lighter fare. But when I do play Champions, I will tell you, my play style is do as much cool stuff as possible and hope that it works. And also my play style is.
So you like Star-Lord?
Yeah, yeah, well, and or strange, right? Like, like the deck,
Yes.
the old deck. But like a big part of my play style tends to, since I'm usually playing on the live stream, my play style is also when Tony goes, what would have been better, and then we go back and I do that.
Oh,
Before, he's such a sweetheart. Before we play, he's always like before the stream starts, he'll always be like, do you want me to tell you if you could have a better play, or do you want to just let it go? And I'm like, please tell me. Like, I would love, please
oh
tell me.
man,
I always want to know.
That's really
you
sweet.
should let it go because everyone loves the chaos player.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
very true. I just play to have fun. That's the reason I don't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am not a competitive person. Like, I just want everyone to have a good time. So
Yeah.
if somebody else winning means they're going to have more fun, I will genuinely not try to win a game.
There you
I
go.
won't intentionally lose, but I won't try to win unless that person's like, if you don't try, I can't have fun. And then I have to try.
But everyone loves to be on the table with the player who, you could have thwarted for 12, but I'm glad you hit for 1. That was great.
Right? Yeah, no, that was much smarter.
Because it was a cooler card that you played to do it.
Right.
Or
The worst part
something.
is when I have the worst habit of holding on to the good card that I drew at the beginning, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna play it, and it's like, just spend the resource, Sideshow Bob.
So let's talk about villains. You're here on a villain show. Who is your favorite villain in the comics?
In the comics, my favorite villain is Purple Man.
Oh, so good. It goes very well with the alias. Just
I think he is so insidious. He's so horrifying. He's one of those villains that, if I sit around and really think about, him, it's just terrifying. And he's subtle. I like a subtle villain, which is why I also love Doctor Doom. I know some people don't think he's subtle, but I find him to be very, very subtle. When it comes to the game, though, I mean, in terms of the comics, I love that. When it comes to the game, I don't know. There's some upcoming villains, especially the ones in Fear No Evil, I'm really excited to play. I was really excited when we put Typhoid Mary in. I think she's really cool, and so I think the way that she plays is great. I'm super excited.
Well, Purple Man, we're gonna get him, right? So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
You are gonna get Purple Man. Oh man, when we were writing the art briefs and everything, and I was just wiggling in my chair, oh yeah, this is gonna be good art.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, we know who your favorite villain in the game is, and in the comics. We want to know the hero that you most enjoy watching just get demolished or beat up or made fun of, or who's that hero you like to see, get whooped on by the villains?
I am gonna have to. I really, really love Hawkeye, but I also really love when Hawkeye is sort of like a punching bag to some degree, because he doesn't have powers. And so, that he's feeling every hit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like any hero who isn't super powered or super, because it's sometimes it gets a little boring when it's everyone's super strong and can just they're just beating on each other for hours and hours. It's the comics that I always find more intriguing are the people who are maybe they have super abilities, but they're not super soldiers, for example. They're not bulletproof, and so Hawkeye is a great one because he's just got such pathos. He knows exactly where he falls in the Avengers in terms of rank.
That's right.
Anyone who's listened to the show knows that I totally agree with you. That's a great answer.
Honestly, I will say, it's just watching heroes lose in the game. It's very easy when I play. I'm not very good at games, so
I'm right there with you, Molly.
Yeah, let's just torture these insufferable heroes. Let's just make them feel the pain.
That's right. That's right.
And when you're playing with 3 other people, you can torture their heroes too. It's so good.
Yeah, right. I could flip down and wreck, but I'm not going to. I want you to die.
I'll flip down when I know we'll thread out when I do it.
Yeah, there you go. It's like the Champions version of "I'll sleep when I'm dead."
That's right.
All right. Shall we shift into some other topics here, guys? Shall we do that?
I think so.
Business stuff.
Business stuff.
Business stuff.
Well, I'm a business lady, so I'm ready to talk business.
Let's talk about the new packaging that we got.
Mm.
Like, can you tell us anything about this move from the plastic blister packs to the cardboard packs? Because I've been playing these LCGs a long time, and I remember when I first started buying Lord of the Rings LCG, it came in cardboard packs, and we're back to that. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so I've actually, I've been at FFG through the entirety of this packaging saga. When I started, when I was, it was when everything was in cardboard. When we first switched to those plastic clamshells, the main reason was to prevent shelf damage. The weight of the cardboard, it's called GSM. It means grams square meter. So it's if you had a square meter of the material, how many grams does it weigh, right? So a higher GSM means a thicker paper. So the weight of the cardboard was pretty thin. It wasn't, and the designs of the tuck boxes were such that like a lot of the product was getting corner dings, hang tag rips. We had a lot of complaints because once a package looks shoddy, no one wants to buy it, even if they're just going to throw it away. It's crazy. Like you're gonna take out your cards, you're gonna throw away the box, but people would not buy them. So we moved to plastic clamshells. At the time, it felt really wise, even though they're more expensive. Even though they were recyclable, and it felt like a smart decision. Then Asmodee decided to make a move to 0 single-use plastics by 2027.
I love
that. Which is why we're not shrink wrapping anything anymore. We're not. That's why the cards are in paper wraps now. All that stuff that started with Civil War, we're doing that on purpose because we wanted to be ahead of it. We wanted to make sure that if there was anything weird about the way that it ended up, like if we got customer complaints about things, that we'd be able to pivot with future products, So, but they've been great. I mean, I did so much work. You guys don't even read. I did so much work back and forth with white samples with the factory to get the paper good. We wanted to be able to see through the paper so that you could still see the cards inside. We eventually talked about moving to paper bands, which I think are going to do, because honestly, like the paper wraps are great, but we get the occasional complaint about people not being able to see what's in there. People who have lower vision, it's not as easy for them. But so we took the opportunity to completely redesign the packaging. I think these new tuck boxes are so much better. I love we flipped them around. I don't know if you guys have realized that. So they used to be, there's the big wide flat back of it, and then like the front was the card pack that sticks out. That was the front. We just flipped it so that the big beautiful cover art gets to be that full, like smooth single sheet, right?
That.
Yeah. So like it looks so much cooler.
Yeah. I'm one of those people who still has my boxes from the Lord of the Rings. Like you said, people throw them out. I kept them all because that's my gamer OCD.
That's great. But like, I don't know. So we get to showcase the art better, which is great. We used to, another change for Marvel that kind of started when we started doing this packaging shift was we used to always, the cover art for things like scenario packs would just come from a card in the game. Usually we started commissioning separate covers, and sometimes those covers are still used in the game, but that way we are, deliberately getting like a slightly bigger piece of higher res art for the covers. Very cool. I really love them. I love the new tuck boxes. I'm glad to hear that you guys do, because those clamshells were, I don't know, they were so expensive and they were hard to source, and becoming increasingly
and they were hard as hell to open.
Yes, they were hard as hell to open. And also, like, just one more thing, if you have to source something into your factory, that means it's getting trucked across mainland China sometimes, right? So it's an even bigger environmental impact, in the sense that they don't just have them there. They have to, spend all the fuel to get them to the factory, so it's just it's great. I really like it.
The more big companies that are following that suit of environmental responsibility, like Andrew Navarro, Earthborn Games, like the big idea of trying to get stuff done in America as much as you can, so there's not as much. Like, I just think that's hugely important. So it's really cool that Fantasy Flight went on that path as well. And
we can't, I mean, we're not, to be honest, like we can't, when the tariff thing was happening, we had a lot of conversations about the logistics of moving from China. Like truly, like but like, I really love our factories. I think that one of the things that is really interesting to me is that, we work really hard with our production coordination to make sure that everything that comes out of the factories is like up to a standard of quality, right? And so I get a lot of white samples. We get, digital proofs, physical proofs. We get bulk samples, which are basically it's the game. And then that's when our last chance to make sure they didn't like miss a card or, forget to put the rule book in, things like that, right? But also, like my job is mostly to keep the team on schedule and manage all the different project development schedules we have. So like right now, there are 18 products in active development. There are 3 products that are in production stages, and then everything like promo cards and rules reference updates that I also have to keep track of. And everything in regard to like shipping and distribution logistics is handled by multiple teams at Asmodee. But everything is so tumultuous in the world that global shipping is a problem, I think, for everybody. But I know I have just such high confidence in our factories. We use a bunch of different factories. FFG, or I should say Marvel Champions, has been at the same factory since its inception. Nice. But we are looking at switching factories for Marvel, mostly because we found a factory that I think makes everything better. The quality is higher. The card stock is a blue stock, which is a slightly higher quality stock than the white core that we've been using, which we've been using the same card stock the whole time. I have never like said, let's use a lighter weight stock because we should save money that way, for what it's worth. That's never been anything we've done. We have all the samples I've seen have met spec. We've been working really hard to make sure that everything looks good. But, I'm not holding flashlights up to cards as part of my test. I'll just say that. I am now.
We're doing that for you, Molly.
Are we? Are we doing that? We have some minions doing that. It's okay.
Minions oh my God, Steve, this is our next job for a...
that's minion work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minion. Yep.
But, I really think that the biggest challenge that we face is one that every game manufacturer is facing, which is that costs keep going up, and that's where we're at. I think that if wages were less stagnant and people were being paid more on par with the increases to the cost of living, that what we make wouldn't seem so expensive. It would be more affordable. The way that games felt in the 90s when, you were like, oh, it's, but also it's a capitalism means line go up. And that is a hard thing to compete in a market, right? Everyone's trying to make the next big, cool, awesome thing. And that's one of the reasons I like working on LCGs is we're making our already awesome, cool thing. We're not trying to always outdo ourselves. We're just trying to make something cool. Something I always find interesting is when someone will say, this is on Reddit a lot, you'll see someone say something like, FFG is only in this to make money. And it's like, okay, well, I have a book you should read on capitalism. And it's a good one, but genuinely, like, it's business. Businesses, we are both trying to make money and make something that you guys love, right? And so
I actually want those people to hope FFG makes money so they stay FFG.
That's what I keep trying to, that's exactly it, right?
It's like, would you rather they went bankrupt and stopped making Arkham and Marvel and all the games?
The company wants to make money so they can pay their employees, keep making product. That statement is always ridiculous.
It's so weird to me. And it's just like, we're doing everything we can. I promise that like our first and foremost directive from our director, the director of Living Card Games, Chris Gerber, our first and foremost directive is always, is it cool? That is literally whenever we're doing the vision, when we're doing visions, we're reading through what we want it to be. And the guys, the designers write up what they want the next product to be. My job is one where I'm on something called the leadership team. So those of us on the leadership team, we read through the visions and, talk about how we feel about it, if we think this, and the question is always, is this cool? Will this be seen as the next cool thing when it comes out? Or is it going to be, and so that's and I think that even sometimes, they'll announce the hero and people will be like, who or whatever. And then they see the gameplay style and they're like, oh, okay, it's cool. It's like, but honestly, the biggest challenge is rising costs. It is, I mean, the tariffs right now are less a thing. If you had interviewed me a year ago, I would have said that, but right now it is really just that everything is more expensive. I mean, I'll quote something, my first quote will be like a year before it's the final quote, and the cost difference is, measurable. It's always more.
Yeah. Yep.
It never goes down.
But I mean,
yeah, it never goes down. The stuff never goes down.
Yeah, what percentage of the haters like represent the people that are actually playing the game and will pay for it, and like understand that, hey, a pack might be $1 more, like most of us are reasonable people who can be like, yeah, I get this, these are the living realities.
Yeah, just like anything on the internet, the most vocal people are the ones who are unhappy, because when you're happy with something, you usually don't take time away from doing it to go talk about how happy you are about it.
Yeah.
It's more likely that if you're
maybe that's what needs to change about humanity.
Right?
We need to talk more about what we enjoy.
Yeah. I will say one of the things about, working at a board game company is, I don't talk about games I don't like. That's just not really, I mean, mostly because of my job, and it can look like poor form, but I don't do it with books either. If I don't like a book, I don't go on Goodreads and talk about how much I didn't like it. I might just go on, I might rate it low and say, this one wasn't for me, but I don't need to go and talk about everything about the book that I thought was stupid. That's a personal opinion.
Don't forget how you should also disparage the author's personal life too.
Personally,
yes, yeah. What were they thinking? But there are a lot of people who, from what I can tell, really enjoy complaining, and it's just hard. I tell the guys all the time, I'm like, maybe just don't be on Reddit for a few weeks and just try to maybe just leave the Discord alone for a little bit. And just, it's easier. Marvel, I think, it's different games, and people want different things out of their different games. And so it's always, but there's some people who are never going to be happy until they see the hero they want to see. And until that hero is released, they will forever decide that our game sucks.
And then when that hero does get released, Molly, they're going to hate the design.
Well, or it's just not. It's nothing is
That's
ever.
That's not how I would have done it, right?
Nothing's ever good enough for a lot of people, and that is something that, as an adult, you have to get over.
Yeah, I mean,
many of those people, they still play the game, right? They still buy the product. They just complain about it.
Yeah, it sure seems that way.
It's weird, but we've talked to a lot of designers of this game and other games, and they're like, it is a very real, personal experience for them to have to deal with criticism and critique. And
absolutely, they are pouring themselves.
And how so much of it is off base, and nobody understands what their kind of lived experience with taking in the critique is and feels like.
Yeah.
So, along those lines, Molly, designer groups have changed over the course of the games that you produce.
Yeah.
What is that like for you on the producer end when design teams change? Are there any challenges during those transition periods and such?
So like I said, I've been on this game from day one, right? It's funny. I was just cleaning out a box that I had from when we left the offices in 2020. We just kind of threw everything that we had, in a box, and I was actually just finally emptying mine out in the office, and I found notes from the very first meeting we had about Avengers, the card game in 2017, and so the very first meeting, right? So I've been there day one, and there's never been challenges with the designers working together during transitions. Even as people left or joined, the three designers we have now, I think, are the strongest group yet. Again, that is not throwing any shade on Nate and Caleb and Boggs, right? I love those guys for real. I still work with Nate on a daily basis, and with Boggs, because he when we talk to him about stuff all the time, right? So I will say that the group we have now, though, I really do think is the strongest group yet in terms of the design space, because all three of them have extensive design experience outside of LCGs, outside of card games. I knew Tony and Frank both really well. We've worked together on a lot of previous projects. Tony and I worked on several board game expansions together. Frank and I was the producer on, X-Wing for like 2 years. So I knew him really well. And I knew Aaron really well because mostly as a coworker, but also I helped out with flavor text on Keyforge. So like, we would work together in that sense too. And so those three guys, they're all just with that breadth of experience. I think it makes a stronger team. And we have Nate French still. He's in the LCG Vertigo, so he's game design lead. He's in the leadership team with me, which is great because he's an original designer for both Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror.
And Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones.
And Lord of the Rings and all, yes. Yeah. But like in terms of, yes, he's the originator of LCGs, to be true, truly.
Isn't that wild to think that there's a person who did that?
Yeah. Who was like the first guy. Yeah.
And
He's given us
him.
He's given us presentations on the history of LCGs and like how it started from the Game of Thrones CCG and why it started. It's really cool. But yeah, the group we have now, like what we're doing now is we are streamlined. We are a tight team, and I feel like truly, I think that Marvel Champions has just never been better. We are killing it right now, and I think that a lot of that is because, Tony's got really strong leadership. Frank and Aaron are both extremely creative and have a lot of enthusiasm. It's just, I love it. But no, to answer your question again, there's never been anything that's impacted the fun and the flow on the development side either.
Okay, great.
The only challenge ever really being is like, you're a designer being brought into a game and told design for this game, and that's, but even those, I don't even think it's felt like a bump in the road. They're all really good at working together. Very collaborative.
It's great. Yeah. We've had a chance to meet everybody either at the conventions or on this show. So yeah, everyone always seems super excited and enthusiastic, which I think can go a long way. Fresh ideas, new people. Yes. It's always good.
Yeah. Fresh ideas, kind of a new start, right? Like it's always really exciting when, I don't know, whenever you can inject, an ongoing game line is a hard thing for a designer, I think, because, you have to continually figure out ways to bring exciting, fresh newness without reinventing what you're doing.
The game. Without destroying it.
Right.
Without destroying the game, without changing things too much, but also not changing them none. It is a really fine line to walk, and these guys have been doing it for years. It's really cool.
So speaking about new ideas and new, fresh stuff, there's this talk about this new current environment and the legacy. Is there anything that like FFG hasn't already said that you can maybe say to us? Is there anything from your side of thing on how this current environment is going to work out?
No, there's nothing I can say that hasn't already been said right now. Okay. I'm sorry, but okay, here's what I can say. I think it makes a lot of sense for the game line's future. I think that it is something that I think they've outlined the reasons for it really well already. Like, I think everything that they've said has been, everything about why we're doing it, but there's nothing stopping anyone from playing this game however you want to play it, right? Like, that's the
beauty of the co-op card game.
Not only that, but also like, oh my gosh, it's not like you have DLCs that are now invalidated, right? You still own all your cards, man. Go play with whatever you want to play with.
But Molly, we've been trained to hear about the FFG police. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not supposed to talk about the secret FFG police. But no, yeah, I think no, I mean, and as always, we hear feedback, we adjust, we talk more. We're always and forever. There's rules reference updates coming out. We're working on them constantly. So this is not the end of that conversation. I'll say that for sure. There's always going to be, more information coming out.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So new stuff coming out recently. I say recently. it would in the time frame of this show. I think
Yeah.
it was PAX Unplugged when you FFG released a timeline of all the stuff that is coming out, like the Fear No Evil and the PAX after that. Very Marvel cinematic universe kind of style, like check out this timeline kind of thing. That I thought that was really cool. Now, from your end, is there like any trepidation about here's a schedule we put out? What if we can't meet that schedule? What was it like releasing that? So
yeah, we were really I was so excited because that's something that we've been pushing for on the team for a long time, is like, if you tell people it's coming, they will be so much happier. Like when we were talking on, in leadership about for PAX Unplugged, and it was like, listen, if we don't tell them we're doing Daredevil, people are going to lose it. Like we have to just say, can we tease it? And, because it's licensed, we're going back and forth with Marvel about how we have to, all of our presentations, anything that involves their IP, they have to approve. So all that stuff, we're talking with them about how we're going to do it. But by the time you hear about products, by the time we're announcing it, even when we're doing like teaser stuff at PAX Unplugged, we've been done with those for months. And I think people forget how far ahead we're working. Like
it's like a year, isn't it? At least
it's at least a year, usually more like 14 to 15 months ahead of release. So like when it'll be so funny because people will be like, I'll see again. I'm a Redditor. I will die a Redditor. I am on Reddit all the time. I'll see people say things like, "Oh, they're doing this because thing that happened 3 months ago," and it's like, no, no. We got really lucky with the Wonder Man show. All of a sudden, they're like, Wonder Man show. And I'm like, I'm looking at the calendar and I go, holy, are you kidding? Like, this is so cool. Because, it's not like that. But yeah, I'm really not worried. Any logistical problems with like shipping delays that typically offset our planned release dates, it's usually no more than a few weeks. And that's like a worst case scenario. Like genuinely, yeah.
So, Molly, along those lines, can I ask you a question about that? Like, FFG's been doing their thing for a long time.
Yeah.
And like board games and trading card games, like, there's got to be like a saturation point. I feel like it's just so much. There's just so much. There's so many games.
It feels like there should be, right?
And like Kickstarter has 47,000 board games campaigning at any given time.
Right.
I'm still waiting. I'm on year 5 of like one
Good luck with that one, Daniel. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I don't think Coalitions is ever coming, BT Dubs. Anyway, but like
Half-Life 3,
I
believe.
But do you think that because you've been FFG for so long, like there's something that kind of rises you above that in a way?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because on the one side, we work with so many factories. You mentioned trading card games. Our trading card game, and this is just FFG I know about. In terms of Asmodee, we have so many studios. They make so many different kinds of games all over the world. But in terms of FFG, the trading card game is made at a completely different factory in a completely different country than any of the Marvel. I see people say like, oh, the reason Marvel Champions is delayed is because of, the trading card game. And it's like, no, that's not it. That's not it at all.
I'm glad you've dispelled like 9 rumors tonight, if nothing else.
Yeah, seriously.
So like we have tons of factories. We have to. We make so much stuff. But I would say that the curse of it is we are FFG. To board gamers, and hobby tabletop gamers, we're a household name. And that comes with its own set of challenges because we have a lot to live up to. And it's very easy, we see it all the time. You see it on social media posts, or people are like, I hate them. I'll never buy anything from them again. It's like, well, you follow the page, but it's just, and that's fine. People are welcome to hate us and never buy anything from us again. That is their decision as a consumer. But I really feel like, to me at least, what I'm always thinking of is like, I just need to know that what I'm making is great. And I know that's how the designers feel too. They pour their hearts into everything they make. For them, it's this creative, child they're birthing. For me, it's a project, and they are all my babies, these projects. It's a lot of work, but I'm not doing the creativity side of it. And so, I just want to make sure that my job is to make sure we're still up to the same quality in terms of, our production, our physical components, and that we're always trying to think of a way to make something cool physically. The creative stuff is all Tony, Frank, and Aaron, and they have that nailed. So I got to live up to I got to live up to what they're doing and make sure that what we put out is awesome. We've all played those games where you touch the cards and you feel bad. You know what I mean? Like if there's a board game and you pick up a token and you're like, but then on the flip side, there's games where you played them and you're like, ooh, listen to that. And you click down a tile. You're like, yeah, oh yeah. And so, yeah.
So satisfying.
So Molly, are you saying that the quality of the cards of Fantasy Flight games are such that you really don't need to sleeve them?
I don't sleeve my cards. I'm going to say it.
Thank you, Molly. Oh my God.
Daniela's going to love that.
I hate playing with sleeves.
I know Steve's going to cut this because he's a
language.
That is a villainous move to cut this, but I will say I hate playing with sleeves.
Me too. Thank you.
They reflect the light. I can't read the cards. They slide all over the place. They're too slippery. It's not for me. I also break the spines on all my paperbacks and turn down pages. So I'm a monster. Maybe you're in good company.
Wow.
It's sad that you hate art so much, Molly.
I love it so much that I want it to look loved, like the Velveteen Rabbit.
Take that, every listener of this show. Okay, thank you, Molly. I'm so glad.
You're welcome.
That. Wow.
So Molly, you've been a part of Marvel Champions, as you mentioned, since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're particularly proud of that you were a part of in the Marvel Champions line that we've seen that you'd like to share or talk about?
Boy, so many things I do are behind the scenes. I've streamlined our art processes. I've streamlined our development schedules, and you know what? Here, when I am very proud. I have worked really hard to build a winning culture for the Marvel Champions team, legitimately.
I love that.
We are all buddies. We support each other. We celebrate each other's wins. We don't dwell on our mistakes when they happen, and they do. We're people. It is the opposite of the toxic game dev environments you hear about it, especially in video game companies and stuff. You hear it is wholesome, truly. But I had one, so I don't do a lot of creative ideas, really that much. But I did have one really kick-ass idea that I'm very proud of, and you're going to see it in promo cards at Gen Con, and I can't wait.
Promo cards, yes. We don't get enough promo cards for this game.
We're working really hard. We're working really hard to make that better. That is awesome. Something where our goal is to have at least one promo a year and hopefully more, but that relies on marketing budget, So, but yeah, I had a really kick-ass idea, and I'm very proud of it. And I still can't believe it happened. So it's going to be great.
That's awesome.
Something for us to look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is it going to be like Deadpool was, where we'll know it when we see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Great.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get to Gen Con and get some of these promos.
Well, for one thing, it'll be on you'll see the promo cards and you'll be like, that's what she meant. Oh man, that's crazy.
Awesome. Cannot wait.
Well, this has been amazing, but we have a few more kind of silly questions, if you're up for it.
I am.
Okay. We like to ask this of all the folks from FFG. So which part of your job would you most like to have your evil or have our evil minions do for you?
Now, Molly, you did answer this 6 years ago. You might not remember what you answered.
I don't remember what I answered 6 years ago.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
It could have changed.
I think it probably has. Okay, so in true villainous fashion, I would force Nightcrawler to become my minion. I would make him bamf me to the office whenever I need to review a sample. Because right now I have to drive 45 minutes round trip for 5 to 15 minutes of reviewing sample time, because it'll be like, hey, the white sample for that tuck box is here. And I have to drive 45 minutes round trip to go, cool. approved, and then I go home. And if I could be bamfed, especially if I could force a hero to do it, that would be great. Teleportation would make that much easier. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. What does a white sample mean?
Oh yeah, so a white sample is exactly what you get for the game, but blank white paper. The coding is there. It looks exactly like the game, but it's white. So
no art or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, no art, no ink at all, no printing at all. Just basically, so like let's say let's say the cards are, I'm just throwing numbers out of here. Please, nobody think that this is the numbers, okay? Let's say if the cards are like,
all think these are the numbers.
I know. If the cards are like 130 GSM paper with a 2S matte coating, right? If I want a white sample, they take that paper, they do the coating, and then they cut the corners. And so like a white sample of a scenario pack would be the tuck box, the white cards inside wrapped in their paper wrap, the rule book, a white blank rule book, and then whatever else it needs to hold. Basically, we do it more for like new product types. So Arkham Horror, as you may know, just did their whole core set refresh, and as one of the things we did was we dramatically reduced box sizes while still keeping them functional, because that helps shipping costs, environment problems, makes it so that you have more shelf space, right? You're not holding a box of air. So to do that, we had to do all these white samples, so a white sample, when we're doing for those Arkham things, to do a new product, I had to, we were dialing it in, right? Like, does this look right? Does this fit? Can we put all the cards in? And also, the divider cards, and will the campaign guide fit on top of this? And will the box close? Just things like that. And so rather than waste ink, and we usually don't have the files ready by then anyway, right? So rather than, we just do a white sample. Yeah.
I would have never imagined that is a thing.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's all the cool production stuff. It's so cool.
And boy, do we all thank you for not making us buy 3 sets anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if anyone has ever told you the story of that decision. That was literally a last minute decision. We had completed the whole core set, the very first thing, right? So we've worked so hard. I don't know if you guys know that we were also working on 6 expansions all at the same time. So this is the first thing we're going to do. And we've been working on all this stuff, and they've been designing all this stuff. So this is the first thing we're going to make. And we get it all the way through studio approval, which is this long process where you review every single thing. We get it all the way to what's called release candidate approval, which is that's when they basically decide if we're going to sell something, and how much it's going to cost, and the business side of stuff, right?
Sure.
And Andrew Navarro was head of studio, and he comes to us and he's like, okay, so here's the results of this are, we think that this would do better if it played 4 people out of the box, instead of people having to buy 2 core sets to play, to play with more than, or whatever. If we want there to be enough for everything in one box. What do you guys think about that? And we all go, that sounds awesome. And they're like, how long will it take you to figure out what we need to do to make that work? And we were just like, 2 weeks. And so we like Caleb and Boggs and Nate figured out the card balances and what we needed to do for, multiple copies, how many multiple copies of everything, what needed to happen. We figured out everything we needed to do. I had to requote everything. It was insane. And it was just this last minute decision that completely changed the course of LCGs. And now they all do it.
Best decision.
It was the best decision.
I agree. And it was
for the environment, for humanity. But yet you'd also had people expecting to buy multiple cores, right? It's
and then we were like, and guess what?
And then you were like, but guess what? 10% of our base will be the nerds who buy these games, and then the rest will be people.
Well, and that was Marvel Champions was meant to be a very approachable LCG. Yeah. Yes. The whole point was this is the one that if your kid saw the Avengers and he loves the Avengers, that we can just pick it up and play it. It's not an easy game, as you know, but it is a quick to learn game. And it's, that's what I love about it is it's quick to learn, and then it's so deep strategically, right? And I just think it's so funny that we were like just about ready. It was like, this is going to be the first entry into this new game line. Let's just change it at the very last minute.
No, that was a brilliant move. And then Arkham followed suit in their second chapter, and it was right.
Yep.
Like it's
well, and we actually did a revised core set for Arkham. When I was first a producer on Arkham, I was on it for a while, and then I moved off, and then I came back. We did a revised core set that was not chapter 2. It was still chapter 1, but it was to make it so you didn't have to buy multiple copies. And so did Lord of the Rings did the same thing. They both got revised versions of their, existing, just to make it so that we could have it in this new. So Marvel Champions changed everything.
They did.
Yeah, great decision. Love it.
Thank you. I thought it was. Hey, it's Navarro, man. He. It was a really good call on his part. It was a really smart decision as head of studio at the time, for real.
So my question was about having evil minions do a task for you.
Yes.
And then this happened.
Then this happened, which was amazing. But I want to refresh your memory on the first time we asked you, because you have a theme or an MO now for what our evil minions will do for you. The first time we asked you this, you wanted our evil minions, to carry you around the office so you didn't have to walk places.
So Banff is just another.
So Banffing around is just another mode of transportation. So yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty amazing. I think what's really telling is that in late 2020, I still thought I might go back to the office.
Yeah.
I have worked from home since March 17th, 2020. So I do have a desk at the office because I'm technically a hybrid role. But I don't need to be in the office very much. But I have a desk where they put all the samples and stuff. And
but you all love each other, and do you hang out? Like, do you get to see each other?
We do I mentioned the studio approval thing. When we do studio approval, it's our whole vertical gets together. A lot of people are still over Teams or whatever, but we get together and we review we print out everything at size and review every single word of every printed thing, every graphic design element, every bit of art, trying to make sure we catch everything. The fact that errors still go through is insane to me, because we do that. So not only do we do a tech edit, a proofread, this studio approval, which is 12 people all looking at it. Then after that, it goes to the licensor for Marvel, right? And they look at it and they look at everything. And then after that, it goes to our distribution partners who are doing it for translation purposes. So they are looking at everything. And so they catch some stuff sometimes, right? And then we do digital proofs, physical proofs, and still sometimes there's typos in it. I don't even understand how.
Yeah. And this, folks, is why it takes a year and a half between creation to you seeing it. And why, like Molly said, they miss some things sometimes, like the word while and what that means in the English language.
Daniel.
That's not a typo.
I am convinced that typos don't exist until it is physically produced and given to someone.
I have to agree. And the thing is,
typo is not there prior.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's typo. It's just hiding. It's being coy. And then all of a sudden your card goes up on spoiler season and everyone's like, what? And you're like, no, Mark, what?
As far as I'm concerned, Molly, Marvel has dropped only a single ball with their editing. And that's okay.
We're perfect. We do everything
you are
right.
99.99% perfect.
You know what? I dare somebody to make their own game, and I will look for the errors.
There you go.
That's right.
100%. I agree with that.
I don't even see typos anymore. Anyone who has ever read anything I've written knows that, I can't judge.
Correcting errors is classist. That's
That's right.
Steve puts on barbecue gloves and then starts typing.
Then I start typing.
So that's
bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
But you still understand it, right?
Well, weirdly, we all know and love him enough to actually be able to parse it.
Yeah. I communicate in my own way.
I make up words all the time. It's just I just do it. It's just part of my personality. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. And someone will be like, "What did you just say?" Like whatever. I'm like, "Yes." And like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Did you know what I meant?" And they're like, "I think so." I'm like, "Then it's a word."
And it's a word.
That's right.
That's what
English is
words
a
are.
living language, is what I tell
All
my
words
students.
are made up. Yes.
So we're going to air this show after Con of Heroes. So tell us how much fun you had there.
I had such a good time. I love the DoubleTree in Bloomington. Honestly, that's one of my favorite hotels in the entire
That's
Twin
great.
Cities.
That's so bizarre. I'm from Bloomington and I don't know it. So, okay.
I've spent so much time in that hotel. I bet I have spent weeks of my life in that hotel because I go to Convergence every year, which is the best 4 days in geekdom. It is a 4-day convention over the 4th of July weekend that's been going on since 1999, and I've been going since 2002.
And what's it for?
It is for all things geek. It is for everything. It is for sewing geeks and horror geeks and anime nerds and costumers and comic books and literary geeks and science fiction hardcore people and space fantasy opera people. And there's karaoke and there's masquerade. There are improv shows. I do improv all weekend.
That sounds amazing.
We're doing Taskmaster, and I was one of the contestants in Taskmaster. So just last weekend, I recorded a bunch of tasks. Honestly, I cannot oversell it. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
It is.
So we're going to be the most normal people they've ever seen.
I mean, like, that's the thing. Everyone always thinks they're like, I don't know if I'm nerdy enough. It's like, don't even worry about it. Like, you will find somebody who there's panels, there's programming from like Thursday at noon until Sunday at 5. And like the only time there isn't programming is basically like 12:30 a.m. to I think 9 a.m. is when people, that's when there's parties. Oh, there's party rooms. It's like a party con. So there's like 20 to 30 party rooms, each with a different theme, like giving out alcohol, you tip, you have to be 21, giving out food. Like, I mean, there's con suite where you can get snacks and drinks and food for free. It's all part of your membership admission. I mean, I dress up like I'm a cosplayer, so I do all kinds of costumes. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It's worth coming here for if you're ever looking for something to do on 4th of July weekend, which most of us aren't really barbecue people. So we tend to like to do this instead.
Well,
it sounds amazing.
That's a call to action, listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. Come to Convergence. It's convergence-con.org, and you'll find out all about it.
Oh my God. I'm doing it next year, guys.
Actually.
I'm going to do it. We will put that link in our show notes for sure.
Fantastic.
Because unless you don't want new people.
We want new people, please. And bring your kids, bring whatever. Like, it's such a good time. Like, my husband and I do this activity every year. We've been doing it for, I think 6 years now. It's actually, we got the idea from comics. Kelly Sue DeConnick and her husband, whose name I can't think of right now. Is it Matt Fraction that she's married to? They made, for their kid's birthday party one year, they made a cardboard city, and the kids all dressed up in kaiju costumes and destroyed the city.
Oh my God.
We do that every year at Convergence now. So on Thursday night, anybody who wants to goes to Connie's Quantum Sandbox, which is the craft space, and they have all this cardboard and stuff, and you build buildings, whatever you want them to be, bridges and buses and huge skyscrapers. And last year there was people make really disturbing stuff because they know it's going to get destroyed. So like last year there was an orphan hospital full of glass eggs and like
oh my
things
God.
like that. And then my husband and I are the announcers. So every year we are like, we're here on this beautiful day, very much like the city of Townsville is under attack, kind of a thing. We narrate what's happening over mics while these little kids in various costumes are destroying the cardboard buildings and ripping things apart. The kids get really funny with it. They'll like get in our faces and hold up a building, and we'll be like, no, not the bank. And they like rip it in front, like, rah! It's like Pikachu is destroying the orphan hospital. Like, it's so fun. There's stuff for everybody there. You got me going on my special interest. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? That's great.
That's awesome.
Your special interest will be ours soon, for sure.
So. Convergence has to be experienced.
I guarantee 72% of our listeners are now really interested in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether they can get to Bloomington in
Yeah, yeah.
4th of July.
Well, it's actually it's in Minneapolis now. It's down. It's in.
I think it was at that hotel. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be at that hotel. We moved hotels. We're now at the Hyatt Regency downtown, which is actually
nice.
a better space for us. We got too big. We got too. Yep, we got way too big.
Regency is enormous.
Yep, it's gorgeous.
And you can get to the Hyatt Regency by Skyway, everybody, which is what Minneapolis is known for.
And public transit, you can take the train, you can take the bus. There's like, that was a big reason for the switch. Is a lot of our membership uses public transit.
That's cool. Speaking of private life and our private interests, if you had to craft for yourself an obligation card, right? That thing on the side in Marvel Champions, what would it look like? What is your personal obligation or professional obligation? What would be the thing that pulls you back into alter ego from being the devious villain or stupendous hero that you are?
Okay. All right. No, I got this. Okay. So my obligation card, it would be called "We Want to Go Outside." And the art would be my two dogs. It would be my two dogs just staring daggers at the viewer. So that's the art. And the text would read, "Give to the Molly Glover player. You can flip to alter ego form. Choose exhaust alter ego to remove this obligation from the game, of course, or discard cards from your hand until you have only one card remaining. Then discard this obligation." Because like they interrupt me all day long to go outside. We have a backyard, luckily, so I can just let them out. But the little one, especially, my dogs are Pimento and Peaches. They're both Alaskan Klekai, which basically look like mini huskies. So think of like a 20-pound husky just staring at you with his little heterochromatic eyes. And the only way the card could really be effective is if it somehow barked. I'm not sure how to quote that, but I'm going to work on it, because if the card was just like howling and barking at you, that would be the best way for it to be your obligation, because they go out, they cannot be ignored. So that's the thing that like pulls me away from being Molly Glover's super producer and having to go back to being Molly Glover owned by dogs. For
nice.
Sure.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's good.
Thank you.
All right, last question.
Steve will make that card for you.
Oh yeah. My thought is there'll be a QR code on it, and when you scan that, it will just play an audio file on your phone over and over of dogs barking.
That's a good solution. I love that.
Okay. Last question. We are about to wrap our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the show, and we're moving into Civil War. So are you Resistance or are you Registration?
Ooh, I'm Resistance, baby.
Right.
Steve, did you even have to ask?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
really?
No. Yeah, I'm a card-carrying socialist. So I firmly believe in even when I read the comics, I was like, I was on the Resistance side. Absolutely. Civil War was such a heartbreaking run, because you'd be like, it's very much like both the people that you respect have the stupidest ideas right now, but also the worst person you know is on your side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really groundbreaking at the time. People, I think, the movie was fine, but the comics run was just so
good.
So really stirring and emotional.
Well, guys, I think that's it. I think we can let Molly go from the interrogation room. Maybe are we done? Is there more?
I guess we can
have I earned my release?
Well, Scott,
can one ever earn one's release?
Did you ever find the keys to the cuffs? Because
was I supposed to be looking for the keys to the cuffs?
Well, yeah, that was what we hoped you would find.
We'll figure it out. In the meantime, Molly, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me. This is always such a good time.
Molly, what a delight to be with you again.
Yes, absolutely delightful. Thank you for hanging out with us and chatting about all the things.
We'll have you back in like another 5 years.
Thanks for your very insightful question. Yeah, let's do it. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to die in this chair.
We're counting on it. We need you.
Steve, can it not be another 6 years though? Can it?
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll shoot for 3,
tell you what,
2.5.
You'll know when you want to talk to me. How's that sound?
Okay.
I like the sound of that.
All right, folks. Guarantee it's less than 6 years from now.
I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that.
All right. Oh, we can't wait, Molly.
Yes.
All right. Well, folks out there, did you go to Con of Heroes? Did you meet Molly? Do you want to tell us about how amazing that experience was? You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We're Critical Encounters on Facebook. You can find our YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Fun Love, and Lexicon. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Dr. Doom, take us out.
I was a god, Valeria. I found it beneath me.
Yeah, our fans would love to hear it, but they will never hear it. So, yeah.